Hello, I'm Joe Sawyer, the Superintendent of the Shrewsbury Public Schools. I'm recording this message on Thursday, April 16th, with the assistance of Mark Serra, the Executive Director of the Shrewsbury Media Connection. I hope you and your families are well. Again, on behalf of everyone here in our school district, we want to send out our thoughts to those of you whose loved ones or friends have been affected by the COVID-19 virus. We urge everyone to continue to observe all of the social distancing guidelines that are in place in order to help stop the spread of the virus and keep our community as safe as possible, especially for those who are most vulnerable. Thankfully, most of us remain healthy. I talked in my last message about the fact that we're all adapting to new routines and ways of doing things. Fortunately, I was able to get our hands on some clippers, and my wife was able to give me a haircut. I know that's happening. I think it's hard to get clippers nowadays because so many people are adapting in that way. And we certainly look forward to a time in the future when we can all go back to our normal routines. But for now, we need to adapt. The same is true of what's happening in our schools. We know if you need support, you can always reach out to us at the info@shrewsbury.k12.ma.us email address, or call us at 508-841-8400 and leave a message and someone will get back to you. I do want to remind everyone that next week, what would have been our April school vacation week, the school committee did vote to continue our remote learning plan for 3 days next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday is Patriots Day, which is a state holiday. We'll continue our remote learning on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And then Friday, April 24th, will also be a vacation day. Those 2 3-day weekends will help those folks, both families and educators who need some time to attend to family issues, to do that while still maintaining the momentum of our remote learning program. It certainly is okay, and I would certainly recommend that you and your families unplug over the coming holiday weekend. That's important to do. This has been a stressful time for everyone, and it's important to try to achieve whatever balance we can under the circumstances. We do want to address our short-term needs, of course, while we're also keeping an eye on our longer-term needs for our students. One thing that occurred to me is that the vision that's been set out for our students in our Portrait of a Shrewsbury Graduate is very applicable to the situation we find ourselves in now, particularly in the category of resilience and focus. We know students by nature and children by nature are resilient, but that is something that this situation will help us teach them that can benefit them not only in the short term, but really going forward for many years into the future. In that category, we've articulated that our vision for students is that they should be able to persevere and accomplish difficult tasks and overcome barriers in order to meet goals, that they work effectively in a climate of ambiguity and changing priorities, employ strategies to maintain their personal wellness and focus and intention in their lives, incorporate feedback effectively and be able to deal with setbacks, and to monitor and direct their own learning, adapting their approach as needed in order to successfully complete a task or solve a problem. I'm sure you would agree that that vision that we've laid out for what we want for our students by the time they graduate, those are things that we can help students gain as a result of the fact that we have to have them learning at home right now. And our educators will be working to help instill those things, and we ask for your support as families to be able to do that as well. This opportunity in crisis for our students, our families, and our educators can strengthen these skills in a way that can really help our students in the long run. Monday, of course, Patriots Day would have been Marathon Monday. That's been postponed until September 14th. But I have heard many people talking about this situation using the old saying that we have to treat this as a marathon and not a sprint. Keeping our eyes on what's in front of us, but looking ahead for the long term and making sure that we're pacing ourselves appropriately. The fact that it's also Patriots Day on Monday makes me think about us being Shrewsbury Colonials, of course, the important history that started right here in Massachusetts that we celebrate on Patriots Day. And so I'll leave you with a couple of quotes from 2 great Massachusetts patriots from colonial times, Abigail and John Adams. Starting with John Adams, who of course was our second president, one of our founding fathers. Many know he also wrote the Massachusetts Constitution. And in that Constitution, he ensured that all Massachusetts citizens enjoyed the constitutional right of a public education. He did say about education that there are 2 types of education. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live. I'm very confident that our students will be resilient and we will find ways to get through this together that preserve their learning as greatly as possible. And then when we return, we'll be back in business and being able to provide them with that foundation that they need to ultimately pursue a profession or a job in the future that will be how they make a living. But we also know how we handle ourselves, both as educators and as parents during this time. We'll be teaching our students a lot of lessons about how to live. And that's something we'll continue to focus on as we work through this time together. Abigail Adams also said that great difficulties may be surmounted by patience and perseverance. We certainly are experiencing great difficulties right now as a community, as a society, and I do appreciate your patience and your perseverance as we continue to work through this together. I do hope that you have an enjoyable holiday weekend, and I am grateful for your continued support of our school district. Thank you.